Hello, beautiful vloggers. It's your girl Shay. I am here with you for the Little Women LA reunion part 1. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and check out the timestamps in the description box in case you want to fast forward ahead or anything like that, all right? So this is going to be my 5 best moments from the reunion because it was a pretty good reunion. So let's talk about what was going down. So first we got the issue between Terra versus Christie, which has been an ongoing thing for a few seasons now. You know, they have a serious beef. And this is not like a reality show issue. Like, they don't like each other in real life. Like, Terra actually admitted on this episode that she hates Christie. She literally hates her now. I don't believe that you should hate anybody. It's just not good for the spirit. You know, what's the saying? Holding a grudge is like drinking poison and her hoping the other person dies. So you really should not hate anybody, but Terra admitted that she hates Christie. So anyway, the drama for this season really with Christie and Terra has to do with this music video, where it was a music video that Christie did some years ago talking about she's a midget and she needs love and all of this stuff. And you know, for little people community, that word, the M word as they say, is a word that they despise. They do not like it. So the fact that she was singing a song about it is really scandalous and it's causing a lot of issue. And so Terra took that video and put it all over her social media and did all of this stuff. And so all of the girls have been really on Terra about it. Like, they really upset with her for doing this or whatever and putting it out there like this in a way that she has. So, you know, she basically admitted that the reason why she put this video out of Christie is basically to get back at Christie as revenge for the police report that Christie filed a long time ago when they were throwing drinks at each other, and Terra threw a drink and it hit Christie in the hat. Christie pretended it hit her in the head and did all this damage, but if you seen the video, it really didn't smack her upside her head like that. But anyway, she pretended it did. So she filed a police report. Terra has never gotten over that. So she put out this video, this old video of Christie as a way to get back at her, not only for that police report, but also because she's mad at Christie because Christie would not sign a book release in order for Terra to talk about Christie in her book. So Christie refuses to sign the release because she's basically like, you want me to sign this release, but you're going to talk about all my drunk stories and all this stuff. And if you know anything about Christie, you know that she is now sober. But when Christie was drinking, I guess there's a lot of terrible stories, and Christie and Terra have known each other for a long time. So Christie is in fear that Terra is going to put some of those stories in her book. So she is refusing to let Terra put anything about her in this book. So in order to get back at Christie for not signing a book release and for filing a police report, Terra put out this video, released this video. Christie has called her a vindictive bitch for doing this. Elena called Terra out on the reunion, told her she was wrong, brought up the fact that Terra was in the movie Jackass. If y'all remember that movie years ago, Jackass, and in there she had a fight with Wee Man, and Elena was like, that was basically a midget fight and all of that stuff. And so you basically did the same thing that you are ridiculing Christie for. And also, it was another movie that Terra supposedly did called Midgets versus Mascots. And now Terra is saying that movie was filmed and all of this stuff happened. But when we were filming that movie, they didn't call the movie Midgets versus Mascots. It had a different title. And then when they put the movie out, they changed the title. However, you know what, Kevin Frazier was the host for this reunion. Kevin Frazier does a great job hosting. I really think he should host more reunions for more shows. He calls people to the carpet and he does it in an unbiased way. I really love it. So anyway, Kevin Frazier is like, well, you say that you were against the title of the movie, but you promoted it and you were on the red carpet. But Terra's defense is that she was going on the red carpet because it was her way of protesting, and she went down the red carpet and was doing interviews telling people like, hey, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this title. And the title was not this when we first shot the movie. Now, I would think that to protest it, you just don't show up and then I would send out a press release like I didn't go to the premiere because they changed the title and I don't approve of what they changed it to. But instead, Terra's way of protesting was she showed up. And then they show all these pictures of her smiling on the red carpet. So my thing is like, Terra, you can't, I mean, maybe your intention was to protest, but you're not really protesting if you're smiling in the pictures, because all they have to do is show the pictures of you smiling And that shows you as, in their mind, you're promoting the film. And all they have to do is not show the interviews of you saying, well, they changed the title of the movie later. So they could just use the parts of you that they want to and exclude the parts that they don't. So they just can take out the interview. Nobody is talking about the interviews where you said that that wasn't the title of the movie. All they're doing is showing the pictures of you smiling on the red carpet, which is exactly what they did on this reunion. Even on this reunion, they didn't show any of the interviews where you said, you know, I didn't approve the title change. They just showed you smiling on the red carpet. So once again, like, you may have gone as a way of protesting, but it kind of backfired because it looks like you were there in support of it, even though you weren't. It looks like you were because you were smiling on the red carpet, and they're not going to show anybody the interview footage. They're just going to show you the pictures of her smiling on the red carpet, and that's exactly what they did. What she should have done was just not show up and sent out a press release saying, I don't support this, but instead she showed up. And so they are using the photos of her showing up versus the interviews of her actually protesting. So then you hear Joe yelling in the background, and so Kevin is like, if you got a problem, Joe, just come to the stage. So finally Joe comes out. He comes out. I can figure out what the hell he was holding. Turns out he has a bobblehead from Juicy from Little Women Atlanta, because Little Women Atlanta has Juicy has a bobblehead. If y'all remember Little Women Atlanta, Minnie put a chicken wing on a bobblehead doll and all of that stuff. So he comes out with the bobblehead doll, and he's pushing a button, and he's mad at Kevin Frazier because Kevin Frazier kept asking her why she showed up to the movie premiere. He's like, she told you why, and y'all just keep asking the same question over and over again. And then he kept pushing a button and making Juicy's bobblehead talk, and Kevin was getting annoyed with Joe, like, stop it, cut it out. You know, you being a clown, I'm not gonna be a clown with you. I'm not gonna play a part in that. And so finally, you know, Joe let it be known that he feels like Christie is a hypocrite because she talked all kind of trash about Terra being in midgets and mascots, as well as being in the fight with Wee Man on Jackass. However, she knew all along that she had filmed this music videos talking about midgets need love, and you know, you were sitting there judging my wife, knowing full well that you had done something similar to what she did. So, you know, they was calling each other out. Elena was on Terra's ass. Elena was ripping Terra a new one. Elena was like, basically, you doing the exact same thing here that you're accusing Christie of. You doing Little Women. Little Women is about smaller people. You are famous because of your big Akon ass, meaning, you know, Akon is a version of a little person. They have a bunch of different types of little people, I guess, and Akon is one of them. And she's like, you flirting your big Akon ass, and I was like, whoa. She's saying, I mean, Elena was like really ripping. Elena been ripping Terra a lot this season. At first, I thought Elena was kind of jealous of Terra with the whole Dancing with the Stars stuff, because she was really on Terra. But she been ripping Terra all season. They got into it about the God children situation. I think that's gonna come up in the next reunion, but it was just a lot of drama. So they was going back and forth, and she was basically like, you profiting from being a little person with this show. But Terra was like, yeah, but I'm not being up here on Little Women. They're not, you know, making fun of us. They're showing who we are, but we're not the butt of the joke, basically, which I agree. I see what Elena was trying to say, but I also agree with Terra. It's totally different than being the butt of the joke and having people just show your life as a little person. It's two totally different things. Then we move on to the number 4 moment. Christie's husband, Todd, and her daughter, Autumn, come out on stage. And, you know, Todd is talking about his weight loss surgery. He's lost over 70 pounds. He looks really good. I know that was an issue. That was a big issue because Christie was feeling like he wasn't helping her around the house. He wasn't really doing anything to, you know, help get the weight off. He wasn't losing any weight the regular way or anything like that. So they had went and had the surgery. He had the weight loss surgery and everything. So now he's losing weight. So now he feels like he's plateaued as far as his weight loss. So he has to do other things to lose weight. But good kudos to him. You know, I'm sure he's healthier now, and hopefully he continues to get healthy. So good luck with him on his weight loss journey. And then Autumn, who is Christie's daughter, she was really upset. She does not like the way Terra has been treating her mom. Terra said, you know, I'm not going to argue with her because I'm not going to argue with another woman's daughter, which I respected that. I respect the fact that she didn't get into it with Autumn. Like, she's like, I'm not going to argue with somebody else's child because I wouldn't want somebody to do that with my children. So I respected that. But she was like, at the end of the day, people not going to always get along, and me and your mama don't get along. Basically is what Terra said. And Terra said that Christie has never made the attempt for them to be friends again. Now, that I disagree with. In a couple of the seasons, I have seen Christie tried to become friends again with Terra, and Terra has refused it. Christie has tried to become friends again with Briana. Briana refused it. Terra refused it. Now, I'm not saying whether or not they right or wrong. I'm not saying that Terra has to be friends with her again. I'm just saying, don't say that she hasn't tried to be a friend again, because she has. Now, if you don't want to be friends with her, you a grown woman. You have every right to say, I don't want to be friends with you. But don't say she hasn't tried, because I have watched previous seasons where she has tried to be friends with you again. She has tried to make amends. It just hasn't happened. But that doesn't mean she didn't try. And then we go on to one of the biggest issues, another one of the biggest issues of the season, which is the number 3 moment, which is the beef between Terra and Briana. Terra versus Briana has been a major issue. You know, they show the videos of Briana getting ready for a photo shoot, the Maxim photo shoot and all of this stuff. And then when they cut to Terra to ask Terra about it, Terra starts talking about how Briana is too insecure to be a model. She's too insecure to be a little person model, and that she's insecure with her relationships, with her self-confidence, and with her marriage. And that they also move on to talk about Briana speaking to Terra's manager, which was a huge deal throughout the season, if y'all saw any of that, you know. And Jasmine was defending Briana and all of that, and Elena got annoyed with Jasmine defending Briana, and Elena was like, so what is Jasmine, you're back to being Briana's attorney or something or whatever? And everybody was laughing or whatever. But you know, Jasmine was just saying, like, maybe she's inspired by Terra's success. And I agree. I think that Briana is inspired by Terra's success. I think that a couple of the ladies may be jealous of Terra's success. And Briana might be one. But I think Briana means well, but she is very insecure. She has very low self-esteem, which is displayed and showed by the way she lets Matt treat her. If you ever question whether or not Briana has low self-esteem, you just got to look at her relationship with her husband. That alone tells you how low her self-esteem is. So, you know, Jasmine was saying, well, you know, like I said, she's inspired by Terra's success. That's why she maybe wanted to work with Terra's manager and stuff like that. And Elena was like, well, Briana snapped at you when you came to her defense, and Briana said that you was up Terra's ass. Now, that really did happen. During the season, Jasmine was trying to defend Briana and was like, Briana, why don't you just admit that maybe you're inspired by Terra? And Briana was like, I'm not inspired by her. You're just up her ass. Like that. So I get what they saying. Like, Jasmine, you're steady trying to defend her, but she snaps at you whenever you're trying to help her. So I don't get it. So then they talk about Briana's Maxim photo shoot and how, you know, she was really upset because the photographer did like a the Photoshop on her face. And she said, you know, Acons, because she's also an Acon, Acons have a deviated mid face. And so instead of them respecting that, they have sort of, you know, like tried to Photoshop her nose and try to Photoshop her face and all of this stuff. And so I guess that the photographer was just some random photographer, because it doesn't sound like her photos actually ended up in Maxim. So I don't understand. I guess she ended up, I don't know if that's kind of embarrassing for her, because she was kind of like bragging, like, wait till these bitches see what I'm working on, and wait till these girls see what I'm doing and all this stuff. And it turns out that the photographer you working with is not really with Maxim, and your photos didn't even end up in Maxim. So I was like, okay, girl. So then they talk about the other issue, which was Briana and Terra fighting over the word fierce. And, you know, Terra published the book Fierce at 4'2", but Briana had the whole social media situation where she called herself Little Fierce Mama all over with the hashtags and stuff. And, you know, Terra then trying to be nice or whatever. They said that Terra was doing it as a charity case or whatever, but Terra buys Little Fierce Mama as Briana's domain name, And Briana still hasn't done anything with it. And I know that for a fact because I Googled littlefiercemama.com just to see what it looks like. And she hasn't done anything with it. And I'm like, girl, that's crazy. You are getting all this free publicity for your website. Little Fierce Mama this, Little Fierce Mama that. You wearing fierce shirts. She talking about the fierce at 4'2". Your website is getting so much free publicity. You could be selling anything. You could have finished a book and been selling it on there. You could have done some t-shirts or anything. You could be selling stuff and making some money off that website. Like, Briana, all that stuff you should be capitalizing on, you can't because you're too busy chasing that damn Matt. So anyway, let's move on. The number 2 thing was Lisa, who is Briana's ex-friend. Briana called her best friend, her ex-best friend. So anyway, Lisa comes out, and this is the girl who Matt was flirting with. She's also a little person. And they showed a clip of Lisa, how she was talking to Elena and Jasmine about the fact that Matt was having dreams about her and all of this stuff. And basically, Briana felt betrayed by Lisa, which I kind of understand. Because if you're my real friend and I've told you that I'm beefing with these women, Briana has been beefing with these girls for a long time. So if I tell you that I've been beefing with these girls, don't go sit there and tell these girls my personal business that my husband was doing this, that, or the third. You know, Lisa went and played the victim. Now, I'm sorry, but I just got to call a spade a spade. Lisa was sitting at that table crying with them. She couldn't even figure out why she was crying. She barely had any tears. Like, I get it. The man shouldn't have been flirting with you. But why was you sitting at that table crying like a baby? Like, she was doing the most with the least. Why, if that's your real friend, and you know these girls been ganging up on her, they've been ganging up on Briana for the longest time. Why, if all of the people, okay, I could see maybe you talking to Jasmine, but Elena and Briana have had so many issues. Like, it just seems like Lisa is trying to get on the show, in my opinion. It seems like Lisa is trying to pave the way for her to get a storyline on this show. That's what it seemed like to me, why she would want to film with the other girls and talk about Briana's husband with anybody except Briana. That's just my opinion. Y'all tell me if y'all disagree. So, you know, that happened or whatever. And, you know, Briana basically felt like she was betrayed. And I completely understand why. Briana tells Jasmine, Elena, that Lisa flirted with Matt. Now, she told them at that little, it was like a hockey game or something like that. And they showed that in a clip on the reunion. And I could not figure out that moment. Like, why did you tell them that she was trying to flirt with your husband? At first, she was talking about she was one of your best friends and she was your good friend. But then when it comes out that your husband want to bang her, now you want to pretend like, oh, it was all her fault. She was flirting with your husband. You will do anything to make Matt look like a good guy. Matt is an asshole. Matt is a bad guy. He is not a nice guy. He is not a genuine guy. That man is going to give you something one day. He going to give you something you can't get rid of. You understand what I'm saying? You need to be very careful. And you are throwing all your friends under the bus to protect a man who is not protecting you. He got you looking crazy in the streets. He got you looking crazy on national television. And you out here talking about my friend was flirting with him. Now, how the hell she go from being your good friend just that quick to finding out she said something about your husband? Now all of a sudden she flirting with your husband. Briana, you full of shit. You would do anything to protect a man who will not protect you. I'm just saying. So then they read, you know, because Lisa was like, well, the message that Matt had sent to her was about him having dreams of her, and that the message he wrote to her said something like, I want a woman, I want a real woman, I dream about you a ton, you want a guy to be a real man, there you go, as if him saying that he was a real man. So here I am, I'm a real man. First of all, you're not a real man because you're trying to fuck your friend, your wife's friend. Like, if that don't show you how much he doesn't respect you, the fact that he's trying to have sex with your friend, like, girl, that's the type of man that'll bang your sister, he'll bang your cousin, he'll bang your bestie. You know, he was trying to bang your bestie. Like, he texted her all kind of stuff. Like, Briana will make any kind of excuses. And then everybody was like, so do you believe, listening to those messages now? Kevin Frazier was asking, do you believe now that, you know, Matt was trying to sleep with her and that Matt is not a good guy? And then Briana's response was, well, I don't know what kind of messages she was sending to him. It does not change what he said to her, though. It doesn't matter if she told him she would give him head and on a park bench. At the end of the day, okay, that is your husband. Your husband should not be texting your friend talking about he dreaming about her and he a real man and all that. Girl, You would make any kind of excuses for this man, and I'm just trying to figure out why he is not a good guy, and you dumb as hell for staying with him. I don't know how else to put it. I hate calling people stupid and calling people dumb, but this got to be the dumbest shit. I'm just saying. So then Kevin asked her, like, do you believe his behavior will end? And she's like, oh, it'll end if he wants it to. And he was like, well, why are you showing him that his behavior is acceptable? And she's like, no. She took a long pause, and she was like, no, I didn't say it was acceptable. And then Jasmine was like, it's totally acceptable. And all of the women like, yeah, it's acceptable. You showing that it's acceptable. And it is. You just gonna let him do whatever he want to do, and you just gonna stay. Girl, shut up. So then the number one moment of the show, of this reunion, was when damn Matt the cheater, cheating ass Matt, brings his raggedy ass to the stage. And Kevin says, my interpretation is you were asking Lisa for sex in that text message. That's what my interpretation of that text message is. He tells Matt this directly. My interpretation of this message is that you were trying to have sex with your wife's friend, Lisa. Matt was like, oh, I was hammered. I don't remember. It was like 6 months ago. Now, if you wouldn't do that to your wife, wouldn't a real man be like, I would never do that to my wife? I don't care if it was 6 months ago, 6 years ago. I would not do that to my wife. I know I never texted my wife's friend. I was not looking to do anything with my wife's friend. I would never do my wife like that. I love my wife. I adore my wife, blah, blah, blah. Any real man would have shut that whole conversation down right then. The fact that he tried to blame it on the alcohol and blame it on how long ago it was tells me he was trying to have sex with Lisa. He was trying to have sex with his wife's friend. You are a dog. Rough. Okay? So then Jasmine, she starts getting angry and yelling at him with how Matt treats Briana. And Tanya just butted in, and she was like, Jasmine, you need to leave it alone, because Briana is happy with how he treats her, and Briana is happy with what he does. And then, you know, everyone keep getting upset and stuff like that. And Tanya was like, at the end of the day, you love everything about that man. You love his dirty drawers. Now, that's what Tanya said. You love his dirty drawers. Now, everybody bust out laughing. And Brianna's like, no, I don't love how he treats me and stuff like that and all of this stuff. And it just came to me like Briana has probably the lowest self-esteem I have ever seen of any woman on any reality show. Like, I know that there are a lot of women with low self-esteem. Of reality television, I don't think I've ever seen a woman with lower self-esteem than Briana. I don't think I have. I'm trying to think. There have been some women with low self-esteem who put up with a lot of stuff. But Briana got to be the lowest. Like, she would make an excuse for anything. And then they showed the clip of Terra saying that she doesn't believe that Briana even has postpartum depression. That is all attributed to her issues with Matt and all of this stuff. Now, I would disagree with Terra. I don't think it's right for Terra to decide whether or not she has any kind of depression, because you know what? Dealing with all that kind of stuff will cause you depression. Now, I know postpartum depression is connected to whether or not, you know, you had a baby and it changed the chemicals in your brain and all that stuff. So we don't know if she has postpartum, but it's not up to Terra to make that determination. Briana needs to go to a doctor and get diagnosed and then deal with it, because that could hinder her in her way of dealing with Matt and everything else. But we need to figure out what else is going on with her so that she can move on, because girlfriend is going to let this man bring her something. He going to bring her something she can't get rid of, some STD or something. Matter of fact, Terra told her, Terra said something like, if I was her, I would get an STD check. That's what Terra said. And I agree with Terra. If I was Briana, I would go get tested, because, child, you don't know what he up to. And then he started blaming Briana again, like he always do, saying, well, you know, if things were different in my marriage and all this stuff. And Kevin was like, stop trying to blame her and all this stuff. But he blamed her in Alaska. He blamed Briana in Alaska, and she lets him do it. So if he blames her on national television, I can only imagine the stuff he says to her in private. He probably tears her down emotionally, verbally, in every kind of way. And then, you know, they was like, you just gonna let him stay no matter what he does. And she was like, no, I wouldn't. And then that's when Tanya was like, he could fuck a woman in your bed with you watching, and you stay, and unless we all know about it. And that is true. Unless the whole world knows he did it, you probably wouldn't even make a big fuss about it. You probably go somewhere, cry about it, and then you will clown right back in that bed with him, and y'all have makeup sex. and all of this stuff. Like, it's crazy. And then they start talking about the woman that Matt was kissing in the hotel room, supposedly for 3 hours in Alaska. Now, you know good and damn well you wasn't kissing no woman for 3 hours, okay? You a grown-ass man. What grown-ass man is sitting in a hotel room, okay, kissing for 3 hours? You know good and damn well you had sex with that woman. But because Briana will believe anything you tell her, or because she is too afraid to acknowledge that he would cheat on her, that he would ditch her, and that he would do her dirty, she don't want to admit that to herself. So instead of her just looking at him and being like, tell me the truth, I know you slept with another woman, instead of her looking at him and forcing him to be honest and upfront with her, she will buy what he's selling. So he tells her, oh yeah, I was just kissing another woman for 3 hours? For 3 hours? Get your ass out of here. You weren't kissing no damn you a grown ass man. What, going 30s or 40s? You weren't kissing no another woman for 3 hours, okay? Who was you talking to? I mean, Briana got to get her head checked. I don't know what's going on with baby girl, but she is just let this man lie to her, deceive her. I mean, it's sad. It really is. It's sad to watch. I don't even know how to describe it. And then they like, no matter what Matt does to you, y'all just end up having makeup sex, and then you get over it and all of this stuff. And I just was like, damn, it's a shame that you have gotten played so long for national television that people know your patterns, that they know you gonna get mad, you gonna blame yourself, you gonna blame the other woman, you not gonna hold Matt accountable, then you gonna have makeup sex, and then you gonna get over it. It's what you've been doing. It's what you've been doing. It's really sad to watch. She has to have the lowest self-esteem I have seen in any woman for a long time, especially on television. I've never seen any woman on television this comfortable with showing how insecure she is. It's sad. It is sad to watch, I have to say. So, you know, that was that. Honorable mentions, you know, honorable mentions is just something I talk about, like, real quick, something they talked about in the show that wasn't enough to, you know, get a whole thing on the list. They talked about all the stuff that was going on with the health issues, Terra hernias, Terra possibly having breast cancer. Glad she didn't have breast cancer. Tanya had the Bell's palsy. I'm glad she's over that, and I'm glad that she's feeling better. Christie had the neck surgery where they nicked in the artery. That's why Christie speaks the way she does. If people wondering, like, if you've been tuning in, tuning out, you haven't really been watching regularly, that's why Christie speaks with the lower tone, why her voice is so raspy, is because she had the neck surgery and then they nicked an artery. And also they showed the clip for next episode, and Matt's Alaskan cheating partner, she's gonna be there. Matt is gonna be fake crying on the episode. He ain't had no damn tears when they showed that clip. But he's so fake. He's so fake and phony. And then the girl was calling Briana out like, with your attitude, I can see why he cheats. And I'm looking at the girl like, first of all, you just some random chick that he banging in a hotel room. Like, don't sit there and try to big yourself up like you so great. You're a side chick, okay? I have no respect for the side chicks. First of all. Second of all, no woman is at fault because her husband decided to cheat. If he decided to be a dog, then he could be a dog. And you could be on a leash with him, okay? Y'all both could be barking at the moon and howling at the moon. Both of y'all ain't shit. If you sit there and you making excuses for his behavior, and you gonna sit there while he disrespects his wife, you gonna disrespect his wife. And that says a lot about Matt. If he sat, I can't wait to see next episode to see if Matt gonna sit there while that woman talk down to his wife, and see if he pretends like it's okay and he doesn't say nothing about it. That, like, you already disrespect your wife, then you gonna let your mistress disrespect your wife too? You ain't shit, okay? That's it, but you ain't shit anyway. So I can't wait to see next episode. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I don't know what else to say about this episode. We're gonna help Briana get her self-esteem together. I don't really know how. I don't really know what to do for her, but secure-wise, she has no security in herself. She is so insecure. It's just, wow. It's just sad. Self-esteem is her self-esteem so low she could walk on it. It's bad. It's real bad. But, you know, so we're gonna see what happens at the next reunion. So I'll check back with y'all next week. Y'all tell me what y'all think and how y'all feeling in the comment section. Hope y'all enjoy, and I will holla at y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.